Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Anna Majerus and I have not posted a video in about a week because our family had the coronavirus. We had COVID, and that's what this video is about on my Instagram. I will put my handle right here. Go follow me. I posted on my Instagram stories if you guys had any questions on what coronavirus was like, and if you had any comments to share them there, and I would compile a video. So here we are. This is a Q&A on our coronavirus experience. I got a lot of questions on what Evelyns' experience was because she's a little over a year old. She's 15 months, and my husband and I both tested positive for COVID, and we didn't get her tested because she was in the same house as us, and she did get sick, and so we just assumed that she had coronavirus. A few of the questions that I got on her was, did she seem to suffer very much? What were her symptoms like compared to ours? Were her symptoms mild? How did Evelyn handle it? So I will just answer all of those in one. Her symptoms, the first day, were sluggish and lethargic. She was not playing as much, just kind of laying around, and that's not like her, so I knew that she was starting to get sick. So she took an extra nap that day. She didn't seem to have any fever. She didn't have a fever at all, actually, while she was sick, which was wonderful. She did get some congestion and a runny nose, which she had for about 3 or 4 days, and she's mostly out of that now. So that's basically all of her symptoms. She was sleepy and she had a runny nose, which is wonderful. I should also mention that when Evelyn first started getting sick, I messaged our pediatrician just to tell her that pretty likely that Evelyn has coronavirus because Josiah and I did, and she said not to worry because kids actually handle coronavirus really well, and she did. She handled it really well because it was like a really mild cold for her. I have seen her way more sick than she was at other times, so she actually handled it really well. What are some things that we did to recover? We pushed liquids a lot. As soon as we knew that we were sick, we were drinking way more than we normally do, filling up our water bottles and our glasses, and I was having Evelyn drink a lot more too, so we pushed liquids. I offered vitamin C to Josiah and I didn't give any to Evelyn. I did use essential oils for Josiah initially before we knew it was coronavirus, and then I didn't give him any more after we found out for no particular reason, but I did give him essential oils. For Evelyn, just for her comfort's sake, we did some vapor rub on her chest and on her feet at night. I don't think that we did much of anything else, so mostly just pushing more liquids and having vitamin C, and I did put some vapor rub on Evelyn just so that she could breathe better when she was sleeping. How long did our symptoms last? So for Josiah and I, it was a lot longer than it was for Evelyn. Like I said, her symptoms were about 3 days, and she has gotten better pretty quickly. For Josiah and I, he was like pretty sick for about 2 days, and he had a fever on the second day, and then it broke, and he's gotten better gradually. I was sick for probably 2 or 3 days, and I had a fever on the second and third day, and we also had congestion and headaches and some dizziness and lightheadedness. We tried to rest as much as we could, and once the fever broke for both of us, the rest of our symptoms, it got so much better after our fever. The fever was the worst part. We felt like we were going to die because we were laying in bed and sweating our brains out, and that's when the fever broke. Once we broke our fever, the symptoms have just been congestion and coughing, still some dizziness and lightheadedness, and we have had some difficulty in breathing, but it mostly has to do with, like, if we're running up and down the stairs or if we go on a long walk. It's not typically when we are just sitting still. we normally have to be active. So that's something that we are still kind of going through and are very eager to get out of that, just because we like to go for walks and we like to run around with Evelyn. So we'll be very happy when the shortness of breath is gone. Along with some of the symptoms, someone asked, did we lose our sense of taste and our sense of smell? Josiah and I both lost our sense of smell, so we can't smell when Evelyn has a dirty diaper or when the trash smells really rancid. We just can't smell any of that. And so we had to be a little bit more diligent about making sure we change Evie's bum and take the trash out, things like that. Our sense of taste is, I feel like it's pretty good. There have been a few things that we've eaten that have been like, this tastes like nothing. But for the most part, I feel like I can taste what we're eating. And Josiah is the same way. Some things he can taste and some things he can't. One of the questions was, how long did our symptoms last? And I would say for Josiah, the worst was 2 days, and for me, the worst was 3 days, and for Evelyn, she was sick probably a total of 2 or 3. But for Josiah and I, after our fevers broke, we have slowly gotten better. So it's been over a week and a half for me, and it's been about 2 weeks. For when Josiah was first sick, he's still experiencing some symptoms like the difficulty in breathing and some headaches and dizziness, and I have as well, but it's progressively gotten better each day. The worst part was probably 2 or 3 days, and then it's slowly gotten better over the past 2 weeks. Now, I do want to mention that we aren't 100% sure where we got exposed to it. My husband brought it home. He was sick first, and then Evelyn and I got it. But he most likely got it while he was working with some friends. We can't confirm where it actually came from, but that's what we think. We were required to talk to our health department here in our city because Josiah works for the school district, and so he has to work closely with the health department to return to work. So he had to get tested to take a total of 10 days. That's what they require. As soon as your symptoms start, you have to take 10 days from the start of your symptoms, and then you can return to work. So I've been following that as well for the stay at home. I've been trying to stay home for 10 days, and then I would go back out into the public after that. We are so thankful that we have mostly recovered, and it wasn't as bad as we thought. We did chat yesterday that if there was someone that had respiratory issues or did have other health risks or problems, it would be really difficult, especially the shortness of breath and the difficulty breathing, just because it does kind of hit you hard in your respiratory system, and the fever can really kick your butt too. So those are just things to keep in mind. And also, don't worry about your kids. For the most part, if they don't have any other health conditions, they're probably going to do really well. This is kind of a funny random question, but someone asked us if we had any food cravings while we were sick, and it's kind of the opposite. When we were pretty sick initially, we weren't hungry at all, but we kind of forced ourselves to eat things that were healthy. Like, I think Josiah and I both had salads on the days that we were not feeling well at all. We've just tried to push lots of fruits and vegetables just for their vitamins, so we actually didn't crave much. All right, guys, so those were just some of the questions that I got from my Instagram poll on questions you guys had on what the coronavirus was like. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm back onto my normal schedule, so I will be trying to connect with you guys on Instagram, and I will be posting another video on Tuesday, so keep your eyes out for that. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this a thumbs up, and if you have had coronavirus, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear what your experience was. Bye, guys.